welcome everybody to the April 6th meeting of the Budget, Finance, and Investment Committee. Hope everybody got a chance to review the minutes for the March 9th meeting, and if so, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Commissioner Baum. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I'm a little worried there we can't get the minutes approved. It's going to be a long meeting. Investment report, Mr. Beatty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had a 11 basis point jump in the LBGIP to 60 basis points, so that puts our effective rate at 86 basis points. And we did have one bid for 1 year at 128 basis points. So continuing to rise, and as you probably read, the Fed is raising rates and tightening things a little bit. So hopefully we'll see rates continue to increase for us on the investment side.
Any questions of Mr. Beatty?
Motion to approve its report. Second.
Commissioner Fee, Commissioner Schaefer, Mayor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Beatty.
Yes, sir, I think maybe I'm next on the,
Oh, he's going to amend that.
I don't have that. Not on the agenda. Oh, yeah, there's number 3 there.
while you're looking at, if I could make one report, we turned over our 2015 tax roll to the clerk and master to continue collections, and we collected 99.47% of the roll before we turned it over, and they'll work on the rest. So I appreciate my staff and folks paying and working together, and the clerk and master and the back tax attorney office working together. That's I think probably the best we've ever done. I know certainly since the records I've seen, so we were glad of that.
And you did, and I did find it. Go ahead with your budget transfer.
All right, we just, this transfer is out of our postage for a couple of different things. One is to help pay to archive past trustee records. And the Register of Deeds will archive those for us. We're working with John Lodell, and he was going to pay part of it, and we're going to pay part of it for them to make those easier. I guess they do a microfilming process for those. And the rest of that money's been over. We have used a company, County Records, who have billed our delinquent billings for the 15 and for the 16 that's going out today or tomorrow. They're printing, billing, stuffing those, and they've been able to run those through a program that saved us significantly on postage. And so we moved that from postage over to contract services. So that's what that transfer for those two items.
Ted, is the state still not allowing us to do away with the microfilm and just use other type?
This is a little bit about. This is the method they prefer for the long-term storage of these, because they're taking the old books and copying, running those through a machine and copying them. And I don't know if it's microfiche or microfilm, and I'm not sure the difference, Commissioner, to be honest with you. But the thing about those products is they're readable long-term, because our electronic data, as we all used 5 1/4 disc years ago. Well, nobody's got a computer that reads a 5 1/4 disc anymore, and so that keeps changing. And so these other are, I think, stay viable for a long time and are readable as technology changes, is kind of my understanding. Because I know I was talking with Williamson County, and they have some electronic data, but they still microfiche in the trustee's office just because of the long-term quality and viability of the product. But to be honest with you, it's our records that Archives has, and I'm trying to help pay. And as far as all the technology, I only have a 30,000-foot view. I don't, so that's the best I know. But I'm not an expert. They just asked for some money, and I thought I'd help them. They do a good job. So John's always very helpful in Archives, and Walker is doing a good job in the Register of Deeds office, and that's a product they have that they've used, and so now they're trying to help the rest of us.
Thank you.
There's no further questions. We'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the request.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer.
Second.
Commissioner Fee. Any further questions or discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Fee?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Got anything else?
No, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
all
I'm
right.
out of here. I don't want to lose my prime spot by taking a long time, Will.
Fund condition report.
Okay,
Ms. Nolan.
starting with development tax. In March, we received $720,000 in development tax, brings our total for the year to $4,734,000.
Seems a lot of kids.
Yeah. In that, there was 112 apartments in Murfreesboro. Our cash balances for the end of March was $308,227,000, with $243,590,000 being operating funds and $64,636,000 being borrowed funds. No questions on that. I'll move to the revenue. Our hotel motel tax, we've already collected 67% of the budget. It is up, as you would have expected, since we doubled the rate. Sales tax for the rural area is up 14%. And as Mr. Beatty just spoke, when he just said how much of the 15 tax roll that they turned over at the end of March, they collected quite a bit of the 2016 roll. They collected 96.52% at the end of this March, and then you can, I've got those other years that you can see how well they collected those various calendars, those tax rolls. When you look at the various revenues, you can, and compared to the 5 years, you can see that we will most likely be improving our revenues in June. Sales tax overall, all governments combined, is up 9.75% over the same period last year, with the rural area being up 14%. And I was talking about the interest, interest revenue. When you look at the revenue and you see the line that says total other local revenues, when you look at that compared to the other ones, the increase is generally going to be that interest revenue.
Hotel motel tax, how much, is there an increase of it over the previous year? How much? Roughly. Is it 100%?
Yeah, it will be 100%.
Is it more than that, though? Has it increased whether we'd have raised the rate or not? If that's what I'm saying. That was, we were told that was going to be a killer, is what.
I think that you would have had an increase anyway.
Okay. So
They've already opened up several new ones since then.
They're adding new hotels all
Yeah.
the time, it seems.
but people are going to quit coming. That's what they told us. We were told.
Have occupancy rates fallen since we did that? I think is yes to the question, is it not?
I
How do we
would
get
not
to
know
the
that.
question? Any further questions of Ms. Nolan?
Motion to approve her report.
Thank you, Commissioner Fee.
Second.
Commissioner Allen? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Risk management and financial report. Ms. Street. Mr. Davidson. I always want to say Davidson for some reason. I'm sorry. I had a D in
Close
my
enough.
mind. Like Davidson doesn't sound quite right.
We have quite a few things for you all tonight. We'll go ahead and start with Fund 264.
So on Fund 264, with data through March, continued to run well throughout the 2017 calendar year. Revenues came in at $6.1 million, while expenditures were at $5.1 million. $979,000 for a positive variance back into the fund for March. On the second page, you can see the revenue at $18 million through the first 3 months of the year versus $16.3 in expenses. And then on the last page, I want to draw your attention to the second column down that says 2017 calendar year revenue versus expense comparison. And if you look over here, numbers are a little bit small, but if you look at the variances of each month, it's kind of what we're tracking here. We almost have a $2 million surplus through the first 3 months of 17. So we're already have halfway recouped what we saw in a deficit from 2016. So we continue to be off to a great start, which is what we would expect to see in the first part of the year.
I hear you say you guarantee that continue that trend.
Yes, sir.
As long as we don't have any more
I didn't sign
claims.
anything then.
Within Fund 266 for the end of the month, we are at $558,725 compared to prior year at $440,905.
Any questions?
Motion to approve her report.
Thank you, Commissioner Page.
Second.
Commissioner Allen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we've got recommendation from the Insurance Committee for the medical, dental, vision coverages and a change to the HRA plan.
So hopefully you all pulled out the packet of information we've left for you in your mailboxes downstairs. And at Commissioner Allen's recommendation, I'd included a cover letter explaining why the recommendations were made to the Risk Management Committee the way that they were. And we're going to cover some of that information with you all tonight and share those recommendations with you as well. Every year, I'm requested to do a review of Rutherford County and the state of Tennessee's medical plan. We're going to share that information with you tonight. It's the basis of one of the recommendations that we'll be making. So, Mr. Davenport, if you'll begin with that.
So one of the things that we did to kind of start off, we looked at Rutherford County's health plans versus the state of Tennessee, and then also broke that down to local education and government as well. Currently, the county has 3 plan options. Just to remind you, co-pay deductible and HRA plan on the Cigna Full Open Access Plus network. And I say Full Open Access Plus network because that is a little bit of a differentiator when we get down to the state. The state currently has 4 medical plans, what they call their Partnership Promise PPO, a Standard PPO, a Limited PPO, and a Health Savings CDHP or Consumer Driven Health Plan. Most of these plans stack up right on top or pretty close to where the county's plans fall into. The Limited PPO has a different network that is a tighter, smaller network, similar to what Cigna offers, but excuse me, going back to the our recommendation made in the committee, we have looked at that in the past, but the hospital after a medical center is not covered under that network, which is the main hospital, obviously, for most anyone in Rutherford County. So that is not something that we looked at doing to match the state dollar for dollar on here. Where Rutherford County has an HRA plan, the state has an HSA plan. Those dollars are pretty close and kind of where they line up. And then the state is on the Blue Cross Blue Shield S and the Local Plus P network, the way that those kind of break out. So there's 2 different kind of limited networks that are comparable. Rutherford County is on the full network, which was key here, and is not something that we recommended to go to for obvious reasons on the hospital as well.
And one of the things I have been requested to look at the HSA plan in the past, and one of the benefits of the HSA is the ability for the employee to make contribution and the portability of that money. The major disadvantage for us is that once you do that, once you open up an HSA option, you have to actually start charging fees to use your employee health clinics. You can no longer have those at a free benefit to employees. And we are in a position right now that we need to increase utilization of our clinics before we would introduce any type of fee schedule to utilize our clinics, because that would obviously discourage people from doing that. So we have not considered introducing an HSA, and we're seeing considerable growth inside of our HRA plan in terms of percentage of population that is taking advantage of that, which means that our employees are moving in the right direction in terms of analyzing the plans and deciding what's best for them.
Moving on to page number 4, we broke down on the next 3 slides, and I'll kind of give you a second to kind of look through these. On slide number 4, those are the breakouts, high-level summary of the plans for Rutherford County currently. So the copay deductible and the HRA plans.
Can I
Yes, sir.
I want to remind you, we took some slides out from the front that were title page and everything, so your numbers don't align with our numbers anymore.
It still shows
Yeah, it
4
should
at the
show
bottom
that
of the
at the
document,
bottom.
though.
No, because I deleted the,
No, it's still,
Oh, is it? Oh,
I'm
is
looking
it?
at it on here.
Okay.
Yeah, it still stayed with it,
Okay.
yeah.
okay,
Thank you for letting me know that.
because I thought number 4 was the state plans, whereas
It is the
page
state
3
plans
is the
on-
Rutherford County
It's
plans that
state
you're
plans. Oh, is
referring
it?
to, so.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so on the
pulled some
Rutherford...
title pages out.
Gotcha,
so
I
they
understand.
don't
I'm
match.
with you, yeah.
Yes, so what I'm looking at is Rutherford County versus State of Tennessee. Thank you for pointing that out. So we broke out the county's plans currently, what they have as far as deductibles, co-pays, and co-insurances, so we can kind of see what do we have in force today. On the page after that, that is titled Rutherford County versus State of Tennessee, you can see the 4 state plans that we mentioned. So it's kind of handy to kind of flip back and forth between those 2 pages to kind of see, but just on kind of a high level, the partnership PPO plan that the state has, that is going to be the equivalent to the deductible plan for Rutherford County. And then the standard PPO plan for the state is going to be equivalent to the copay plan. And then the state has this limited PPO that we mentioned is on the tighter network. And then the local health savings plan, which is equivalent to the HRA plan. So not to jump too far ahead, but we will come back to that local health savings plan on the state, and notice it does have that $2,000 deductible on here. We'll kind of come back to that based on a recommendation. On the following slide is the Rutherford County versus State of Tennessee continued. This is the higher education plans for the State of Tennessee. So we broke that out for the Board of Education on a separate slide, so you can kind of see how those plans are allocated out. A little bit different in the plans. They have 3 options with $500,000, $1,500 deductible just for the higher education piece on the state. Any questions on those plan breakouts before I go to the next slide
I
here?
think the only thing that I pointed out is that there is a surcharge to get to the same network that we currently have inside of our plan, and the total premiums for the State of Tennessee plans are in line with what our current total premium amounts are.
Page I'm looking at now is a potential plan benefit changes, HRA plan.
That way you can refer just to exactly what they
So
have.
you
If
can-
you want to-
Yeah.
They- exactly what they're.
This is 6.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Good over there. Perfect. I appreciate that. So on page number 6 for what you guys have, the HRA plan, what we modeled out, 3 different columns will show current, which will match the slide we were just on showing the $1,750 deductible, okay? And $1,750 deductible for individual, $3,500 for family. The middle column on this tab shows the change that we recommended in our meeting.
The one thing I've just noticed, though, on the spreadsheets that have been sent to Mr. Tucker is that the 70% coinsurance plan is not relevant to the recommendation that was made by the insurance committee. Only
Right.
the 2,000, 4,000
Correct.
individual family was. So I apologize for that mistake. All the other information on there is correct, though.
Yep. So I'll send out an updated copy for that, no problem. So the only change recommended is the 2,000, 4,000 on the deductible. By doing that, potential plan savings that were calculated were right over $1 million from doing that. The way those are calculated, not to get too deep into it, basically looking at the employee putting more in their pocket from the $1,750 and different actuarial values that we calculate in-house to calculate that savings throughout the year. So that is expected to be seen throughout the year, not up front or not on the back end, but each month as we go throughout the year, that's the estimated cumulative savings for making that change, 1. And 2, it gets us consistent with the plan that I aforementioned at the $2,000 from the state and kind of mirrors those plans with what they have.
Now, are you saying those are savings to the county or to the employees?
To the county.
County.
Yes, sir.
Which ultimately result in savings to the county employees as well, because otherwise the recommended rate increase would be 4% higher.
It's a shared savings, correct.
So the recommendation was made to increase from the current deductible limits to the change that you see here, the 2,000 for individual, 4,000 in family. It was voted on and received unanimous approval from the insurance committee, and we're bringing this forward tonight for your consideration.
I guess it's to frame this, as you all alluded to, while this may not be, at first blush, the most comfortable thing in the world, this does be the premium increase. You know, I mean, we can't just, we have to do something every year to stay in line. And it's usually not on the positive side completely. You know.
Well, and the thing too is that a lot of people don't reach their deductible that are on the HRA. We have many people that don't even get through the county contribution portion. Someone could, you know, who just has, you know, the sinus infections, those type of things, no chronic condition, and even some that do, depending on what the condition is, if they're treated at our clinics, they would never use $1 of even the county contribution that comes through. And so, even though we're taking that increase, it may not actually be felt by majority of those on the HRA plan.
So are we ready for a, it's recommended we break this down, I guess, one piece at a time. So we'll either take questions on this and discussion, or we'll take a motion on this part of it.
Make a motion to approve the request as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer, Commissioner Allen. Any discussion?
This is going to apply to everything. Just to refresh my memory, where are we sitting on working the employee county cost down to 80%?
So we'll show that later on. We're going to be down to 83%. And we'll show you that later in the documents.
Good.
Well, we need to vote on this.
Yeah, I think
No
I'm sorry.
further questions?
Yep.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan? Yes. Commissioner Peak?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Moving on.
So the next piece of information that we have for you all is just that. It's just for information. And once we cover that, we'll go into the medical rates for 2018 that are being proposed.
So on the page titled Historical Trend Analysis, you're page 7. We did an analysis in-house for you guys, kind of looking back over a 5 to 6 year period of each year, where has Rutherford County landed as far as your insurance, where have you ran each year, compared to where everybody else has ran, where national healthcare as a whole is. So a couple of things I want to define on here. These numbers, when you see PEPM, that's per employee per month. So if you take the full number and divide it by all the employees, divided by 12, you get to this number. It's a lot easier on a graph than to look at numbers in the 60s or 70 millions. It stretches it out a little too far. So 3 lines on here. I want to explain 2 of them, and then we'll get to the third one. If you have questions, stop me. The purple line that you see at the bottom, that is Rutherford County actual. So that is each year back from 2010. Currently, that's where the county has landed each year on their per employee per month healthcare cost. The green line at the top is national trend. So this is where basically everyone else is. So the first thing that you can obviously see that this graph illustrates is that the county has consistently beat out everybody else on the national healthcare level in the United States. The middle line on the yellow piece is the potential cost. So I say potential cost, kind of backing up to what we just approved. So the plan change that we made to the HRA plan. Each year that you can kind of see dips in the healthcare plan, there are different things that Mrs. Street has done as far as plan changes to save the county. If those had not been made, that's what this yellow line illustrates. It illustrates if we had done nothing for over the past 6 years, what our cost could have been each year. So you see the potential years right after we made plan changes, and I'll let Ms. Street kind of get into those if we need to. You can see the dips and the savings in those years and how much we have saved each year by doing things like this. So we just wanted to take an historical look. It's always good to take a look back and see where are we at, do we have cause for concern or anything like that. You can also see that you have never run worse than that green line or where the national trend numbers are.
And we also know it doesn't feel this way. So sometimes it's just good to see it in the numbers that, for as bad as it feels, overall, we're still, from a trend line, running well. Moving forward, we'll go to the 2018 medical rates. We made 2 recommendations to the insurance committee. What you have before you, you'll have a county general page, then a Board of Ed, just representing the 12 versus 10-month deductions. Option 1, which is on page 9, represents what is required on an aggregated basis, which is a 12% increase. And Commissioner Schaefer, this shows here what you had asked about the 1% reduction in contributions that apply to the copay and deductible plan for the 3 tiers of employee plus spouse, employee plus child, and employee plus family. And the goal is to get those to 80% eventually. We discussed the aggregated needs and the distribution across all 3 plans, and the recommendation of option 2, which begins on page 11, which shows that we can still achieve that 12% aggregated increase to the overall budget with the 1% contribution reduction, but we can distribute that increase based on the utilization of the members inside of each plan. When we look at what the experience of the claims are inside of each plan, to achieve the 12% aggregate, that results in a 9% increase to the copay plan, a 20% increase to the deductible plan, and a 5% increase to the HRA plan, plus employees would incur a 1% contribution reduction as described. When we talked with the Risk Management Committee about these 2 different options, they felt that continuing with the behavior of experience increases, this is just what we did last year, is the best approach to the plan. That way those inside of the individual plan are paying based on what the claims experience are instead of sharing the cost. I will remind you that when we blended the pre-65s along with active employees are already subsidizing our pre-65s. Our pre-65 population continues to run very poorly. Their cost, if we were to segregate them out and apply a premium increase, would far exceed 100%. And so employees are already subsidizing for that population, and to ask those within the other plans that are having better claims experience to do continued subsidization didn't feel to be the right thing for the insurance committee. Therefore, option 2 was proposed for both active and pre-65 retirees and was passed unanimously. And you can see what the impact to the pre-65 retirees would be under that option on page 14 in the attachments that you have. Now, under the post-65, we only have 1 plan, and therefore a 12% recommendation was made to that plan since the aggregate basis would need to apply there.
What's the total cost increase to Rutherford County with option 2?
Did you calculate that?
As far as dollar amount or percentage?
Yeah.
Dollar amount, I
Dollar
can follow
amount.
up with you and get it. I have it at my desk, not in my head though.
Yeah.
But I can follow up with you on that, on the exact dollar amount.
If there are no more questions, I'll make a motion that we accept the recommendation from the committee and adopt option 2 moving forward.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Commissioner Bond? Any questions or discussion? These are pretty serious changes. I was trying to give everybody a minute to ask any questions they have. If not, call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
So moving forward, we'll go to page 16. On the dental plans, we also proposed 2 different options. Option 1 represents the 6% aggregated increase. The same philosophy followed, with option 2 being a 0% increase to our option 1 dental, a 5% increase to our option 1 buy-up, and a 2% increase to option 2. And the committee voted unanimously to accept dental option 2 for the 2018 rates. And this is an employee paid benefit as well.
Any questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Commissioner Peete? Any further questions or discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
We saved the best for last with the 2018 vision renewal. We're recommending 0% increase for 2018.
Motion to approve.
Way to jump in there.
Thank you, Commissioner Peay.
I knew I could find something you liked, so I just kept trying.
Commissioner Schaefer. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peay?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passes.
Great.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
do pass our appreciation on to the insurance committee for all the hard work that's done, because we know we spent 5 minutes on this, but I know you guys spent a whole lot of time, not just the committee, but the staff, and we appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you.
And just to go back to the slide earlier, I just hope the public out there realize we get beat up sometimes when we have to have increases in insurance, but I mean, just rough ballpark figures. The national average is nearly double from 2010 to 2000 this year, 17, where we're up a little over 50% and stuff. So we've made some tough decisions in the past, and we haven't always been popular for it, but you know, that's a very telling number or slide right there, graph. So I hope people do appreciate the work that you guys do. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good evening.
Thanks. Good night.
Ready for a solid waste fund budget amendment and transfer. Mr. Nolan, welcome.
Good evening.
Last month, we did a budget amendment to fund money for a part-time driver, and we did the salary part of it, but we didn't do any of the benefits to go along with it. So
You
I think we
actually
need
give your
to.
people benefits on that?
Well, that social security stuff and all that, I didn't think we had to pay all that on part-time, but the budget amendment is to move some money around to put $3,240 in different line items, and it's coming out of the asphalt fund to pay social security, pension, disability, and medical.
Motion to approve.
Well, that's convenience centers. Can we do it in post-closure all in one motion?
It's all in the same fund.
It's all the same.
If
Yeah,
there's
just
no
two different
objection, we'll
departments.
take these together and move on to the post-closure.
Okay?
118, but
It's all 160.
I can't see that little number, 116, 116.
The next budget amendment is, we've done several throughout the year to take care of leachate in the post-closure care. We've been averaging a little over $13,500 a month. The last 4 months, we've been just a little under 13 each month. So we've got a little bit of money left. We think $35,000 should get us through the end of the year, we hope. And that money would be coming out of the solid waste fund balance.
Any questions of Mr. Nolan or a motion?
Make a motion approved.
Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Commissioner Allen? Any questions or discussion?
Are we just making progress on the leachate?
We are.
Our lifetime, will it be closed down?
No, not in our lifetime.
Okay.
With this dry summer we had, did we see a decrease in leachate coming out of there, or is that affecting it?
Moisture, falling moisture does affect it, or it has been in the past. We think what we've been doing is going to solve that problem, but it's going to continue to generate on its own.
Or you're working the cab?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peay?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. We got a request to file for Tennessee Litter and Trash Collection Grant for solid waste.
It's a grant that we apply for each year. It's a TDOT, and it's historically been $95,100. There was one year it was like 107. They had a little extra money, so they doled it out, and then they went back to normal. So we're requesting to apply for that again. That doesn't cover all of what we do on the litter pickup, but it covers a lot of it.
Make a motion approved.
Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Commissioner Baum. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peay?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mac.
sir.
Mac, before you go, is there any kind of an update you can share with us about the recycling efforts that I know that you kind of launched with the city of Murfreesboro? We were, I remember it was about a year or so ago, it seemed like, the two of you came up and we're talking about the group that you put together to try to really help with public education and things like that to motivate folks because of the landfill filling up. Has there been any progress with that, or?
Yes, you're talking about the SWAC committee and the consultants?
Yes.
Yes, we've had 2 meetings and another one scheduled for the 21st of this month. Hopefully, they're going to wind up listening to some presentations and picking a avenue to go. It may not be the one that we actually stick with throughout because we may find out more information at a later date. But we'll get the ball rolling. We still got a long ways to go. And then we've got a public media specialist on staff, and she's been doing a lot of stuff and got a lot of good ideas going, really trying to get the word out. She's doing a campaign she's calling Caught Green-Handed, to where they go into the convenience centers with a deputy, and they observe people doing it right, and then the deputy jumps out and catches them green-handed. A few weeks ago, they actually caught the Smyrna police chief green-handed. I think it surprised him. But, and then she's got another initiative that we talked about today that she's working with our OIT department that I won't spill the beans on it, but if they can get it pulled off, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool.
Terrific. Thank you.
Mac, do you not have a solid waste hazardous material
Yes.
roundup coming up this month sometime?
In May.
Might get a plug while we're on
Okay,
TV.
May the 13th is the Saturday before Mother's Day. It's a household hazardous waste event. Normally, we only have one a year. It's the first Saturday in November. But TDEC was looking at the numbers, and per capita, Rutherford County has the lowest participation rate across the state. So they're wanting us, they offered to see if we would take 2, which we did. And we really wanted the first weekend in May, but Williamson County's doing it that weekend. They didn't want to do 2 counties side by side. So they're trying to see if we can, get more participation. We had our oil-based paint collection 2 weekends ago and had less than 20 cars bring in oil-based paint. You can call the office if you have oil-based paint, and we can set you up an appointment to bring that in. The oil-based paint is something that they think we're not collecting enough of. There's just really not a lot of it out there. But with the issues that we have coming, people are going to have to realize when it's time to get rid of it. It's time to get rid of it. They're also asking us to look at a hub and spoke type thing for hazardous waste. We're not sure we want to do it, but it would help the schools in the area anyway. The chemistry type class, for those things, and it'd be where we collect it in a storage building, and they would come as we build things up. The downside to doing that is trying to have the hazmat material trained people on staff to do that, and that gets pretty expensive. So.
The roundup is May 13th
May
at
the-
the Florence Road at the city solid waste facility.
From 8 till noon,
8
yes,
till
sir.
noon.
And then for small business generators, this is for residential use only, but if you're a small business and you have things to get rid of, you can contact TDEC, and they will connect you with the contractor that's doing it and set you up an appointment to come afternoon. And of course, you'll have to pay to get rid of it, but that's a way to get rid of it. Thank you for reminding me to do that.
Thank you, Mac. Got a general fund budget transfer for juvenile detention. Ms. Duke, welcome.
Thank you. Okay, I've got 2 different budget amendments tonight. One of them is for $15,495. It's coming out of our part-time personnel and going into 2 different Title I line items. And it is to be used for various teaching aids and supplies. It's money that if we had set aside for a
There's a second part-time.
right, as a second part-time educational assistant that we had empty or vacant for a little bit, and we just want to be able to use that money instead of turn it back in. Should I go to the second one?
If there's no objection, we can take them both at once.
Okay. And the second one is moving $6,000 from our attendance line item into overtime pay, and that is to pay out some accrued comp time and all of this is within our budget.
On the wishes of the committee.
Make a motion to approve both requests as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer. Commissioner Jernigan. Any questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan? Yes. Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Ms. Duke. An ambulance service fund budget transfer.
I'm taking that. Mr. Nunley could not be with us
Mr.
tonight.
Nunley for the night.
Anyway, of course, you've all heard the story about our vacancy rate, et cetera, so we've been using a lot more of the part-time PRN people, and they've also had a high number of people on FMLA, so this is to move within budget from the paraprofessional payroll line item, $100,000 into the part-time payroll line.
Motion to approve the request.
Thank you, Commissioner Schaefer. Commissioner Jernigan. Questions or discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan? Yes. Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Motion passes. I've got a question while we're on that, and it may be a little unfair since there's not anybody from staff here. The night on the commission, when we voted on for the pay increase, it was brought up about the paramedic 2 or whatever, going back and looking at that. Did that come to fruition? Is that being done in the budget, or have I
It's
become?
being done and looked at through human resources that with the overall.
I just remember that night at the meeting, we said we'd
Well,
bring
it
that
went to
next
public
part back
safety.
through and stuff, so that is in process.
Yeah, it went to public safety.
But he's talking, they're looking at the whole public safety area, not just that one thing in particular.
Yes.
That one thing in particular, the ambulance department is not recommending us doing anything about that specifically at this moment.
As long as it didn't fall through the cracks, is all I want to make sure.
We've had those discussions.
Because we promised that night we would at least look at that other part that was brought up. We got a general fund budget transfer for the sheriff's department. Go ahead. Salkin Preble, you brought your assistant with you.
I'm the bad and the ugly.
Go ahead.
Simply want to take some money out of the detention officer's salary line item to increase their overtime because they have been working like crazy lately on the classification system we're starting.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Commissioner Baum. Any questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yeah.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Got a request to apply for Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice Programs grant for the Sheriff's Office.
All right, this is a $65,000 per year grant for a maximum of 3 years. It's a no matching grant. And what this is the monies would come to us, but it would supply a caseworker from Doors of Hope to come to our facility, and they would work on it. It's a pilot program for our female population, incarcerated population. And what they will do is work with the population, and it's partnering with education, adult basic education, GED, working with MTSU. They also on intervention of addiction, whether it be alcohol or drugs, any type of addiction. Also working with them on skill building, anger management, pro-social skills, esteem building, and things of this nature. And then providing support services from legal, medical, and mental health professionals, and then representatives from employment agencies that would come in and talk with them and see if we can't get a leg up on when these people are released, that there be a job or a program that they can go to.
Is this one person, basically?
Yes, sir.
Would this person become a county employee? Would they be?
They would be an employee of Doors of Hope.
So, No, I
No,
don't the record, something I'm worried about inheriting an employee after 3 years.
No, sir. Basically, what this is they, I call it a voucher or whatever, but anyway, they give us a voucher for services that they've rendered, and then we would forward it on after we checked it.
When this runs out in 3 years, we just have to figure out how to
Well, what...
utilize the program or...
Right,
or-
being a pilot program, what they're doing is looking at it for the female population right now. What our hope is if it's successful, they are looking at the possibility of expanding this into our male population also, and through further grants. And that's what our hope is where it's going to go.
Need a motion on it?
Or discussion, or whatever somebody wants to do.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Peete.
I'll second.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Well, they've been working with it at the correction center.
Yes, sir, they have.
Towards the hope.
So it's a program in place, so what we're doing is coming in.
It's
and,
becoming available at the sheriff's office. And the detention, the work center, they're very impressed with us. And they gave us a briefing about them, and 2 ladies came and a brochure was along with it and all. I know I read it, took it home to my wife, and she was impressed with what they're doing. So, in fact, she put up with me for 47 years, so.
They sound like a good program. And then we need to help somebody get their life back in order and not be a frequent flyer and end up back in the system repetitively, and that's a lack of.
That's the vision.
Yeah. No more questions. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan? Yes. Commissioner Peete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Got a special purpose fund budget amendment.
You want to do that one?
Okay, hold on. Okay, this is money coming in from the DEA, into the DEA fund, asset forfeiture funds, special purpose fund, whatever you want to call it. But, so it's 11,076 coming in as revenue, with 3,500 going into confidential and 7,576 for law enforcement equipment. Any questions? Thank you, Commissioner Jernigan.
Second.
Commissioner Baum. Could ask questions, but it's confidential, they can't tell you anything.
Include the line for the clerk.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Peete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Now, who's doing the safety officer? Tennessee Highway Safety Officer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
thank you.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Got a quick question. Actually, 2. What's your head count at the jail right now?
Today was 828, I believe was the last figure that I saw.
Okay.
About 158 was female.
Female.
And I know y'all been on top of this, but update me on how your certification or our decertification out there is going.
Okay. We'll go for certification. Part of this overtime that what we're looking at here, and just to be frank with you, one of the problems that happens when you get decertified is they come in and we got decertified, and basically it was for suicide watch, and that was what got us. Once they come in and start looking at us, then instead of the narrow focus, it goes like this. We moved 400 bunks over a 10-day period, and what we were trying to do there was they did what we call a measurement count. And that tells us how many hours a day we have to leave inmates out in the general population as opposed to locked in their cells. If we left it where we had it, then we would have to have kept them in the cells for 14 hours a day. By rearranging these bunks, it gains space, and what we're doing is stacking them instead of them sitting here head to head. So now we've stacked them, and it gains us where we can let them out for 14 hours a day in the general population. Of course, it's behavior modification is what we're doing. So a lot of it has gone towards that. In addition to that, they looked at our shower facilities and said, okay, you don't have enough. So, and that's not something that they picked up on the first time around or whatever. So we've had to make some modifications on each one of the ponds and the showers by adding I'll say that our creative maintenance staff has gotten very creative in how we've approached this, and everything that we're doing, both in the female pod and also in the male pods, is being done within the budget that we've got now. We're not coming and asking for any additional funds to do this.
So when can we expect to see?
June the 7th is the date that the full board will meet, and that's the date that we're shooting for. TCI, Tennessee Corrections Institute, has been back in this week. They were here 2 weeks ago, and we're extremely impressed that the progress that had been made. They did not feel like that we would come anywhere near to what we have done over there in this short period of time. The comment that they made to Chief Solandi is we're well on the way to being a premier detention facility for the state. So that was good to hear.
That's really good to hear.
So it says that we're looking at the right things and we're on the right approach. But we have asked now, come back unannounced. We don't know when you're coming, but we're ready. And so we're now at the stage now where we're waiting for them to come and do the official review. Once we have that done, then we're shooting for that June 7th meeting. And that's the first meeting since we've been decertified that the state board will meet. And so that's what we're shooting for, is to go before the board in June and be certified.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
We have a request to apply for Tennessee Highway Safety Office grant for Veterans Court. Mr. King, welcome.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
Good. This is a request for, I think it's 110, roughly. 115, sounds better. 115,000 for our Veterans Court. This will give us the ability to hire another case manager as well as a therapist on site. And this will allow us to double our size of our Veterans Court population. Our population seems to be increasing here in Rutherford County. We have more and more. This will just give us the ability to be able to reach out and take a few more. So, no matching dollars. And we should know something about August, September.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Feen. Commissioner Schaefer, any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Petty?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you.
Hey, we waited all this time without telling us something else. Anybody got any questions?
Don't you have another veterans graduation coming up or something?
I believe in 2 weeks, we will have another one.
Okay.
And I think this will be a big one, the gentleman that will be graduating. I think he has a wonderful story to tell. He was a Marine in Fallujah, was injured, has PTSD from there, came back to the States, self-medicated, had a night out of town, drove a vehicle, killed his best friend in an automobile accident. So he's haunted with that for the rest of his life. The family forgave him for that. He hasn't forgiven himself. Picked up another DUI after that while on probation or out on parole. So he's done remarkably well. So had it not been for this program, I think he probably would have, he'd have a different path. But he's one of those rare occasions. He's a good guy. Very proud of him.
Thanks for what you did.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
General fund budget transfer for planning and engineering. Mr. DeMasi, how are you tonight?
Fine, thank you. How are y'all doing tonight? As growth increases in the county, so do the amount of plans we have to look at, which means we have more inspections to do, which means our inspectors are driving around more. So we've pretty much burned through our entire gasoline line item. So we're proposing to move $1,500 into gasoline, $750 from in-service training, and then $750 from printing, stationery, and forms. This is just all within budget, our own budget, no new money here that we're asking for.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Commissioner Jernigan. Any questions? Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Sorry. Later that you. Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yeah.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug. You have a good evening.
You too.
Got a general fund budget amendment for the county attorney.
And that's me. Okay, this is moving money when we had the previous county attorney leave. It was treated a lot like an employee with leave. The next county attorney does not earn leave, but to pay out, we had to pay out the previous one, but we're still within their budget, taking money from the legal services agreement, which is all part of the contract. So this amendment still is within their budget, moving $13,640 to county official $11,500, and then the benefits that go along with it.
On the wish of the committee.
Your motion to approve the request is presented.
Commissioner Schaefer,
Second.
Commissioner Baum.
Do we have any choice on this? Or is this something that could be ruled later, you know, like health benefits or whatever could be withdrawn if a judge so decrees? Is this part of that?
We can't pay the current county attorney all of this year's salary plus the benefits associated with it. It has nothing to do with the previous person. We just put Mr. McCray in this position.
Oh, you're saying, okay, I
It's
see
the
what you're
payout.
saying here. This has already been paid.
We've already had
We've
to
already
pay
paid it
out.
out, so this is,
But that's not something we'd be reimbursed for
No, sir.
by a
No.
judge's order?
no,
Okay.
no. No, and just the difference in, I mean, there is a difference in, no, I'm good. Pigeon, yeah, I'm good, never mind. We need to do this.
Any further discussion?
And you're saying that under the agreement that we have, the current county attorney will not be accumulating leave?
Will not be accumulating leave.
And is this county attorney under that, an actual county employee where they have to schedule vacation days?
There's no
and they have
vacation.
to-
There's no vacation days being accrued.
Okay.
But they are an employee, yes. But they will not
But
get, they
treated-
won't get sick leave or annual leave.
Well, there was some question about the last one. That's why I'm asking these questions. All right.
If there's no further questions, call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yeah.
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Resolution to request unclaimed balance of accounts remitted to the state treasury under Unclaimed Property Act.
This is an amendment we do every year, and as Commissioner Jordan just explained, this is requesting the money back that we turn over to the state as unclaimed property. We ask for it back.
This is what we used to do only every 3 years or
Mhm.
5 years, and now we do it every year.
We do it every year.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Mr. Jernigan.
How much is,
We won't know until,
oh, so
They- they
they
keep
may
up
have
with
found
it.
some of it, is
Right.
what you're saying? Okay.
What, was it 90,000 that we got this year
I
at the
believe that's
beginning?
right. Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
I thought-
Commissioner P?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Got a general fund budget transfer for general sessions. Ms. Watkins, did you make somebody mad or something?
I think I did.
And Lance, that means she's at the first next month?
Next time she's on the agenda, move her up the top 2 or 3 spots.
Thank you. I have a amendment request to transfer $2,000 from my data processing equipment account to travel, and this is to cover a conference for Veterans Court for Judges McFarland and Tidwell.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner P.
Second.
Commissioner Allen. Any questions?
Some, I just want to make a comment, and this is almost all the time, we don't bring it up very often. This is within their budget. This is not new money. Almost virtually everything we looked at tonight's been just transfers within budget, so
I don't think we've hit unassigned budget fund balance tonight at all.
One max.
One max.
Solid waste.
$35 or something.
Within his fund.
That was it within his unassigned fund
Yeah,
balance,
right.
though. It wasn't in county general. Well, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yeah.
Commissioner Pete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Sorry you had
you.
to wait.
It's okay.
And while there are other business, we've got a register of deeds budget amendment that everybody should have gotten a handout on. Not on the iPad. Who's handling that?
I'll take care of it. Asking to replenish her film and developer supplies after doing this very large job for the trustee. And requesting a move from $2,500 from DP equipment to DP supplies.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen.
Second.
Commissioner Baum. Call the roll.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Baum?
Yes.
Commissioner Jernigan?
Yes.
Commissioner Pete?
Yes.
Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jordan?
Yes. Is there anything else under other business? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
All right.